Okay, so since this is self-explanatory, me applying a black base, I just wanted to let you know that no, there is nothing wrong with your eyes. I am a fail, and this entire video was recorded out of focus, but I still figured you can see what I'm doing enough, so I wanted to still keep it and show you guys. So once I've blended out my base, I'm just going to take a stormy green eyeshadow and pack it all over my lid. And now for the fun part, I am taking a black eyeshadow and I'm starting to blend that on the outer third of my eyelid, but then I'm also going to start bringing it into the crease and also bringing it out in that wing shape to really start getting the shape going on my eyes, because as you can see, this eye gets a little bit crazy. So I'm also going to be bringing that black into the inner corner because again, I want my eyes to be really dramatic because this is a Femme Kanima makeup look. So once I have the black generally where I want it, I'm going to go in with a clean blending brush and just go over the edges of that, both on the top of my eye, but then also on the lower portion of that wing, because I want everything to be really hazy and just really smoky. So to kind of just give my eyes more of a greenish haze, I'm going over with a large fluffy brush and a darker green eyeshadow from one that I used on my lid, and this is just going to give a really cool look to my eyes. After that, the lid is pretty much done, so now onto the lower lash line, I'm taking the black color and I'm going to bring that all the way into the inner corner to just really give my eyes that dramatic look. And then with a slightly fluffier pencil brush, I'm going in with a green and just blending out that black and also bringing it up into the wing so everything connects and flows nicely and blends and everything looks seamless. I'm also just going to be taking the green that I used on my lid into the inner corner, but because there's no black base, it's going to look a lot brighter. And here I'm applying my mascara, but because I need to be up close and personal with the mirror, I also tight lined and I lined my waterline with a black eyeliner, and I also applied some false lashes. So with the magic of editing, my eyes are now complete. So this part I sped up so you guys can just generally see what I'm doing. So first thing I did was I took a CoverGirl cream shadow and I just sort of dabbed this around my face on the places where I knew I wanted the scales to be, and I just kind of built up the intensity where I wanted it, faded it out where I didn't want it as much. I also brought this down my neck. Again, if you're planning on doing this up your arm or on your hand, you can also put it there as well. I really like these CoverGirl eyeshadows because they really don't move and I don't have a problem with them creasing, especially when I put it over my full face of makeup. I find that it gives it a nice base to stick to and I don't have an issue with it. So that is something to keep in mind. These things are great. You don't have to go out of the way and buy face paints or any Mayron stuff. You can just use stuff at the drugstore. So here I'm taking a brown eyeshadow and I'm just kind of contouring my face. It looks a little crazy right now, but once I go in, everything will be blended out nicely and then it'll all flow. So here I'm taking just a L'Oreal green eyeshadow and going over everywhere where I put that CoverGirl base. I'm also going to go over the contour a little bit again, so everything just looks nice and seamless, as though this is what my skin actually looks like, even though it doesn't. I'm also using shimmery eyeshadows for this because it's going to give my skin a really nice wet look. So now this is for my favorite part. So basically what I did was I took a glass stencil, and it's not a glass stencil, but it's meant for glasses, and I kind of just found one that I thought looked nice. I wasn't too big a fan of fishnet stockings, but that's also an alternative that you can use. And what I did was I took a black eyeshadow and I kind of just started blending it over the stencil. Now what I did was I made sure to pick up the stencil a lot and put it down in different places so I didn't have too uniform of a look on the scales, because again, if you've seen Teen Wolf or you know what I'm talking about, the scales aren't too uniform, so by lifting it up and moving it around a lot of different times, you're gonna get that kind of just, this is my scale kind of look. I'm also keeping it really dark around the outer parts of my face and where I want my scales most concentrated, but as I work towards the middle of my face and as I kind of work out of that green space, I'm starting to use a lighter hand with the brush as I'm blending it all in to kind of just give it a fade, as though, okay, here's my scales and now they're kind of fading out. So I really like the look that it gave, and I thought that this came out kind of cool. So for the lips, because this is a femme look, I took Serpentina by Lime Crime and I put that all over my lips. I also used concealer just so things wouldn't really move anywhere, and I didn't get this shot on footage. However, I did go over my lips with a blending brush to kind of almost diffuse the line of my lips a little bit and give it a little bit more of a messier look, because again, we're not really going for anything too perfect, so if you're looking kind of messy, that's more than okay. And then I wanted to add a little bit of more, that makes no sense, but I want to add a bit more depth to my lips, so I took a black velveteen from Lime Crime and I kind of just dabbed that on the inner portion of my lips. It ended up taking over a little bit too much, but I do like the end result, and once that's done, this Kanima look is pretty much complete.